Hey there, Jay here. This is Jumpstart Art, a series of courses so that you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. Pastels, Mungio pastels, these 64 colors. Get them on Amazon, they're cheap, they're less than $10. Look at all the pretty colors. Whoops, I didn't put them away properly. So get you some of them. They also are good pastels. Paper, I use construction paper. The stuff you see in school comes in a whole bunch of colors. It's real cheap and you're going to do so much practice. You're not going to run out of paper. Look at all this paper you got. My goodness. I think those are less than $10 too. Now when you're working with pastels, you sometimes need fixative. I've tried different ones. Some of them are very costly. This is the best one. It's not fixative, it's hairspray. But it works really well. And it dries fast, so you want some of this. Well, first we're going to start out with this apple looking thing. Well, what's an apple look like? Well, just make something roundish. This is a very bad drawing of an apple, actually. He's sitting on a table. He's got that little dimple in the top and the stem. So go ahead and make you one of them, and I'm going to fix this because I did it so badly, really. Dark on one side, light where the light's hitting it. Kind of know that already, don't you? You don't see anything without a light source. And when light does hit it, and you would prefer one light, by a window is nice. But if you've got like 2 lamps on each side, you're going to get some funny stuff. We're used to looking at things through one light source, which is usually the sun. It's darkest, it's black down here where the rubber meets the road. Your shadow is darkest where the apple meets the table, and it gets lighter, lighter, lighter as it goes out, and more diffuse. So there's the basic setup, but it's not good yet. Hit pause if you need to, if I'm going too fast. Let's see, what are we doing? We're blending. Pastels blend really nicely. Sometimes it's hard for me to get a clean finger. By the way, this just washes right off your fingers. Not a big deal at all. But I've used some black, so now I'm going to put this, because black is smudgy. And black is very strong. Kind of overcomes your other colors if you're not careful. You can almost see it drying. It's that fast. Alright, so this shape is bad, so I'm going to try to fix this shape now. And then the light's hitting, and it's a shiny object. It's a smooth object, so it has a highlight. Highlights could be shaped like whatever your light source is. Could be a window. But usually something like that will be fine. Where the light meets the dark is the true color. This is like the only time I'm putting red on this red apple. The apple is actually light lady orange on one side and almost black on the other. And yet we call it a red apple. And your eye will read it that way. That little dip in the top, we'll work on that a little bit later. We want this to be a little diffused, especially on the outside edges. Maybe not that diffused. What else do we need to do? Here's something interesting. The shadow of the stem. First of all, it's dark there because it's moving away from the light. But the shadow of the stem is curvy. Why? Because it's curving around that little dip in the apple. You can do that with shadows of trees or shadows of fence posts or anything to show the undulating nature of the landscape. Shadow goes around. Not loving this. Maybe more red. And I go like, oh, maybe that's too much red. This is what happens. This is how you do it. Adjusting. Adjusting. Well, that black, as I said, is strong, and that's actually too strong. That's too black. I don't care if it's real black down there, because remember I said that's the darkest place. I'm going to need to put in some color into this booger. Here's an interesting place. Color bounces up. It's so dark down there, but color bounces up from the table or whatever it might be. It's very subtle, but it makes a lot of difference in the form. This works for anything. All these things about light source, they work for human bodies, horse heads, landscapes, barns. All of these principles apply. And I'm having trouble getting this bounce light correct. That's not too bad. Still, it's not quite right. How about this one? Just don't know. I'm having trouble getting that bounce light correct. Well, we don't want that white. It's not going to have a white thing there. It's going to be light, though, because, oh no, I got some black up there. Because guess what? I didn't spray. Let's spray that booger. So I don't do that again. I don't edit out my mistakes because, you know what? I don't want you to think I'm like magic or something. This is a matter of adjusting. Adjusting. Making mistakes. Learning from the mistakes. It's not a screw up. It's a learning experience. It's a good life hack too. So we're just going to go around here. A lot of times I'll fix my bad drawing with a more careful background. Now that background could be anything. It could be stucco, barn boards, stone wall. That's up to you. You're in control of it. But don't worry about it right now. We're trying to get this apple. Something's wrong. I say that a lot when I'm painting. Right over there. How's that looking? That looks pretty good when it's blended in. It's okay. That's subtle. Something's still wrong. It's shinier than that. The apple's got a shiny skin. What else? Maybe the light's hitting that stem and that little lip of that, what do you call it? Of that little depression in the top of the apple. And I still haven't got this right. Like, oh, I really don't have it right that time. That's terrible. Ugh. If I can fix that. Tone that down a whole bunch. That's better. It's subtle. It's there, though. Oh, the apple's a little bit squarish right there. That's no good. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay. Starting to look like an apple. The light source. When you're rendering anything, what's the light source? Don't have a different light source for different objects in your painting. The shadows going one way and the shadows on the barn going the other way. It's going to be... You might not know why you don't like it, but you're not going to like it. It's not going to look right. That little dimple thing, that little round thing. We're going gradient. Around that way, black. Around that way, lighter. Color in the middle. Nice and smooth because an apple is smooth. Now it's getting there. Is he a happy apple yet? I don't like that white right there. See that white right there? That's just silly. So I'm going to smudge it out. Now the table, of course, you could make a lovely oak table or cherry table or any kind of table. You could be sitting on top of a stone wall. That's your choice. You can make lots of these. Practice. You've got a lot of paper, don't you? Happy apple. Let's spray them so we don't rub our hand across them by accident and smear the whole thing all over the place. Not bad. It's an okay apple. And there is an okay apple.